Garner. Eric, what are you seeing in this area?
Peter, we're right on the spot that you were talking about just a moment ago, Timber Drive and Woodland Drive. You look around me, you can see the damage that was left behind by this storm. We pan over this way. You can see one of what is at least a dozen trees in this vicinity. This one has come down on either a furnace shed, a granny flat, whatever you want to call it, causing some significant damage to the roof there. It's also flattened part of this fence. And as my photographer John pans around a bit more, you can see the intersection of Timber and Woodland itself. A power pole there snapped by the force of this storm. Lights down. Garner police officers out there in the middle of the road directing traffic. But the most significant damage we've seen so far, that is going to be in a neighborhood off to our right here. As we pan around, you will see that off into the distance. Multiple trees came down on this home right here. You can see a chunk of the roof torn away, part of the wall caved in. We've heard from neighbors in this area that they have not heard about any injuries. We're working with officials to try to confirm that right now, but you can see some very significant damage from this storm at this point. Again, at least a dozen trees down, it essentially in a line here along Timber Drive, as well as at least two structures that have been damaged. You know, we only got out here about 25 minutes ago. We're still working to survey this damage. We'll stay on top of it, start to bring you updates as we're getting them out here in the field. But again, some very scary damage for folks in this neighborhood, some very close calls for people who were either just getting back from church, just getting back from brunch, trying to enjoy their Sunday morning, not expecting something like this to happen. Back to you.
Yeah, not at all. Unsettling to see for sure, but our radar, Eric, picked up on that very well. So we take a look at the rotation detector again at 12:30. There's Timber Drive. Let me highlight that because it's not showing up, but I can do it on here. Let's see. Timber Drive. This is Timber Drive right here, okay? And so the yellow that you see is the extreme rotation that moved over Timber Drive. So we're talking about this area here seeing the damage. And that happened at 12:30, 12:33 this afternoon. That strong rotation moved over Garner. Would not be surprised if we saw more reports of damage. And what may have happened is the tornado, because there was a report of a funnel cloud over Rock Service Station Road prior to this, farther to the south and west along 401 area, and then made its way up toward the Garner area. And then the couplet really, or the rotation really ramped up. So what may have happened is it briefly touched down or skipped through the area, caused that damage, then lifted up back into the clouds. But the radar clearly indicates that when you take a look at the rotation detector, this scan was at 12:31, and then you see 12:34. The scan then shows the rotation over Highway 70. So that's just north of where Timber Drive and Woodland Road are. And so again, with this being intact, we may not have heard about other areas of damage just yet. There could be more. So that's just one report we've had so far. So we'll continue to watch to see if we have any updates from that area. But Eric Miller, thank you very much for that update, and demonstrates the nature of the bad nature of weather, what happens when a tornado could potentially touch down, and the damage that it can cause. And what we're going to see this afternoon are small little spin-ups like that, or at least the possibility of small little spin-ups. And so we have to be vigilant and on guard that this potential will last at least through 6 o'clock this evening. So let me broaden the view. We'll continue to take a look at what's going on. The tornado warning does continue. This is an update from the National Weather Service. Let me take a look, and says the update. At 1:22, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Zebulon, 12 miles south of Lewisburg, moving northeast at about 30 miles per hour. And so they're continuing to watch it. No indication that it will be expiring. We've got less than 5 or 6 minutes until we get to about 1:30. So we'll continue to watch how this goes along. So you can see the purple polygon indicating the confirmed tornado. And then we see the new tornado warning, and you can see how some of the rotation detector is picking up on a little bit more rotation. I had pointed this out just a few minutes ago, and that really doesn't ramp up anymore, and it continues to weaken. And now with the new polygon, the tornado warned area has shrunk. Great news. Okay, so let's talk about this new issuance. So the warning continues from Zebulon all the way up to Bunn. It's Highway 39, Highway 64. This is the Franklin County line right here. Okay, so it is just small sliver of northeastern Wake County and a small portion of southern Franklin County. In the grand scale, as we expand the view, just a very small portion of both counties.